Hi friends! Morgan and I are here today to do a science experiment with you, and it's something that we're going to be working on over the next week or so. So, we've got all our materials. You can see we moved. I kind of made a little classroom in my garage because I needed to be able to hide from Shavi sometimes so I could get work done, and this seemed like a good space. So today, Morgan and I are going to be working on making hydroponic microgreens. What are you looking for, babe?
I don't see my ring.
It's right here.
Thanks.
Gotta have the important materials, right? So when we look at the word hydroponic, hydro is a root word meaning water, and ponic comes from a word that talks about agriculture. So basically, we're going to be growing plants using water. Yeah, Morgan?
We have a spray bottle full of water and a cup full of water.
Yeah. So instead of using soil, this type of growing is going to use this special grow pad and water. So we're going to show you how we're going to do that. So Morgan was already kind of telling you about some of the materials we have. Okay, so we have a spray bottle filled with water, right, Morgan?
Yeah.
Morgan filled that one up for me. And then I've got a cup with some water in it too. A measuring cup. It's got 2 cups of water.
Miss Felice filled that one up.
Yeah. And then I have 2 grow trays. So when we look at the growing tray, you'll notice it has these kind of indentations in it. Those are called channels so that the water can move around in there. And when we start getting ready, you're going to see that we want to make sure we get water in all of that. Okay? And then we have a second one of those trays. And like I said, we have this growing pad that Mrs. Bash gave us. She actually gave us all these materials. And then the other material that we have that is really important is all these different seed packets of microgreens. Yes, Morgan?
If you don't know, I look fancy Nancy.
Okay, Morgan's fancy today. So these are all different seeds for microgreens. And again, microgreens has a cool root word in it, and that is the word micro. Do you know what micro means, Morgan? It means really little. You use a microscope to see something really little.
I have a microscope in my house.
Yeah.
That we're in the garage and at our house, and my microscope is black.
Yeah. So microscopes let us see really small things, and we're going to be growing really small greens or really small plants, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, Morgan, is pour our 2 cups of water into the container. Do you want to do that for me? Apparently she's very thirsty, folks.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and pour it into there.
You mean spray it?
Nope, I want you to pour this one in.
Then what are we going to do with this?
Just don't worry about the spray bottle yet. Okay, pour it all in, Morgan. And this is when those channels I was talking about is important. And I'm going to move the tray over because our table is not totally flat, and that's okay. When we go to grow these, we'll leave it on a flat spot, okay? So right now, in our tray, you can see that all the channels are filled up with water, okay?
I actually have 2 wings, one in here.
All right, Marks. So there's water in the trays. I'm getting a picture of that so you guys can see. I'm going to take some pictures to put in the video. Okay, so now I've got the growing pad, okay?
The growing pad.
Yeah, and I'm tipping the tray around so that there's water in all the channels. Again, my table's not perfectly flat. That's okay. I'll fix it once we go to grow them, okay? And we're going to put this down and kind of push it into the water, okay?
Ooh, that's super soft, I think.
Yeah, do you see how it looks, Morgan?
Or soft wet. Get it? Soft wet?
Yeah, soft and wet, huh? So I'm kind of pushing it down to make sure that all parts of the pad are completely wet, okay? And you can tell it's wet because it turns from that white color to a color that looks wet, okay? Now I'm going to flip the grow pad over because I really want to make sure that it's wet everywhere. Talk to me, girl.
When you get the grow pad up, it looks like it doesn't have water on it.
You know what? You're right. It doesn't look like it, but I can feel it. I can feel that it's wet, and it also feels heavier than it was before because it soaked some of the water up. Okay?
If I touch that, I will be like, water's on my hands.
You might notice that there was water on your hands. You think you wouldn't like that? Is that what you're saying? So Morgan's going to come on over and check it out, and she's touching it. And can you tell that it's pretty wet now, Morgs?
Yeah, it's
okay. And does it look to you, Morgan, like we got it wet pretty much everywhere?
Wait, except the... Okay, we got it wet there.
So, Morgan, you're going to love the next part of the job, okay? Is that I want you now to take the spray bottle and you're going to spray the pad like 10 or 15 times to make sure that it's wet everywhere,
I'm going to
okay?
do it 10.
Okay, so Morgan's going to do the spraying for me.
I'm
here.
15. I'm going to do it 10.
So stand right here and you start spraying it. And while you're spraying, I'm going to tell them about the seeds that we have, okay? Go ahead, make sure you're spraying everywhere on it, okay? Not just in one place. So, let's go ahead and check out some of the seeds that we have. And the reason Morgan's spraying it is so that we can make sure it's wet everywhere. We want it to be all the way wet. So this pack is just a basic salad mix. So a mix means that it's got a couple different kinds of seeds in there. And when you look at these seeds, you can tell that it's a mix because there's dark ones and lighter ones.
Mix means something with something else.
Yeah, exactly. We also have cabbage seeds. The cabbage seeds are pretty small. They're almost perfect little spheres. They're really nice little round circles. We have another mix, Morgan, that's spicy salad. Do you think you'll like the spicy salad microgreens? What?
This kind of looks like soda because when some sodas look green inside, you know those sodas?
Yeah, like Sprite or something?
It kind of looks like it.
All right, what about the spicy salad mix, Morgan?
Don't make me eat that.
Well, I'm going to have you try it. Morgan doesn't like spicy stuff, but she'll give it a try. And then we also have radish, okay? And the radish are bigger than the cabbage and bigger than the salad mix, actually. They're the biggest of the seeds that we have. See, Morgs? And they're also, they're not really as perfect of spheres as the cabbage is.
They're not big. Okay. What are you talking about?
That's pretty silly, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you think it's all nice and wet, Morgan? I think so. Okay.
It's freezing.
So, what we're going to do now, Morgan, I'm going to move this tray out of our way.
If I go to wash my hands, it will freeze even more.
Okay. Now, we are going to start, let's start, Morgan, with the radish, okay?
Mom,
I'm going to put radish on this side. What, love?
What is that?
You can just see the water moving because remember, again, I said our table isn't flat. When we go to leave these seeds to begin growing, we're going to make sure that we get it on the flat part of the table because if not, all the water would go down to one end of the seeds and that wouldn't be good. Okay, so Morgan, the first one we're going to put down is radishes, okay? And I'm just going to sprinkle the radishes on here.
But how am I going to eat the pepper thing?
The spicy salad mix?
Yeah.
Well, you're going to try it, don't you think? You usually are pretty good about at least trying things.
Am I going to just eat like the seed?
No, we have to wait till it grows. So that's a great question, Morgan. It's going to take about 4 or 5 days before we even see this start to grow. And then after that, it'll take another 4 or 5 more days before we can eat them.
I thought that was my drink.
Oh my gosh, that's so silly. I'm so glad you didn't take a sip of it. Okay, so Morgan, I put the radishes on this side. So I want to give you this piece of tape. And Morgan, what letter does radish start with? You can say it in Spanish.
I can say it in Spanish?
Yeah.
Because I only know the one in Spanish.
What's it called?
Edit.
Yeah, it starts with an R. So Morgan's going to write an R on our piece of tape so that we'll know exactly where the radishes are. And then I'm going to label our tray with that R right here so that we'll know that's where the radishes are. You can also use Post-it notes, okay? So the kids who are doing this with me, I gave you guys some Post-it notes to use for labeling, okay? All right, Morgan, what should we do next? Which seeds should we put down next? Should we try the spicy salad seeds? Yeah.
No.
Well, even if you don't want to, we're still going to grow some of those, okay? So now I'm going to put the spicy salad seeds next to the radish seeds.
They look spicy.
And you want kind of an even coating, okay? I I have extra seeds here, but for those of you who are doing this at home with me, you can use most of the seeds that I gave you probably. You can kind of see what looks right. I'll take a picture of this in a second to add to the video too so that you guys can see what it looks like, okay? So spicy salad mix, Morgan.
Looks like spicy and...
It looks spicy just looking at it?
Spicy seeds.
I don't know if it looks spicy just by looking at it, girl. Okay,
It
that's kind of
looks
clumped
spicy
up right there, so I'm going to spread those out a little. Okay, Morgan, for
That
this label...
looks clumped up too.
Okay, Morgan, for this label, I want you to put SSM, Spicy Salad Mix, okay? La S, la S, y la M. Nope, 2 S's and 1 M, please. You know the S in Spanish and English. All right, so we've done...
Extend it to the tween.
That's okay, just fix it.
How? I don't know.
Maybe it'll erase. Ta-da! Cool, dudes. All right, Morgan's amazed by her mother's magical moves.
If you write the wrong number or something, you can just erase it off.
All right, thank you, Morgan. SSM. All right, I'm going to do cabbage next. I told you those were the tiniest seeds. So I'm going to put these down in a nice even layer right next to my spicy salad, but I'm trying not to mix them up too much. I don't think it really matters. I'm just trying to be nice and organized about it. Okay, Morgan, does that stand for spicy salad mix? Mom will get it.
This one.
Okay, so this one goes next to the radishes, right, girl?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put that label right here.
Can I get a drink?
Yeah, of course. Okay, and then let me finish up the cabbages.
I'm thirsty again now.
All right. Ooh, that cabbage is looking good. Okay, and then the last thing. Oh, so you need to make a mark for cabbage, Morgan, and that's C, like cookie. Okay. La C.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So radishes, spicy salad mix, cabbage. Perfect. We'll add our C label to the front so we know where our cabbage is in here. And the last one we have is just the regular salad mix. Let me see if I can find it. All right, and here comes our last set of seeds. This is the regular salad mix, Mark, so this one's not spicy. Yes, girl.
Something tells me that this video is going to be good.
Oh, yeah, you feel good about this one? Okay, cool. All right, I'm sprinkling my regular salad mix in here. Okay, nice layer of that.
Complicated with that.
I did, I got a little confused, huh? That happens, girl. All right, and I want you to put an S and an M for salad mix, please. Okay? All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more radish seed because I read that when it's big seeds, you wanna put a little bit more. So I'm gonna add some more there.
Actually, you're right. It looks kind of big.
Yeah, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, these seeds are definitely the biggest, huh?
More that I see it better, the more I see it much big.
Yeah, especially because you can compare it.
The more that when I see which kind of these are,
Yeah.
I see which one is bigger and small.
Yeah. Which one do you think are the smallest ones? Maybe the salad mix, huh? So Morgan's noticing that when they're in the tray, you can kind of compare how they look different.
This one isn't this.
The spicy salad mix is smaller than the regular salad mix. Good noticing. Okay, so again, if you're somebody at home following along, these are the kinds of things you can notice. And you have a scientific notebook where you can take notes and record your observations. So when Morgan and I finish the video, I'll probably have her help me make some observations in here, and we'll share that with you guys next time we do a video, okay? All right, let's put our final label on for our salad mix, okay? And then Morgan, we do have our little creature friends here today, so I'm gonna make Morgan come talk to her classmate for just a moment. Morgan, I want you to tell your classmate 2 observations that you made about the seeds while we were planting them, okay? So maybe which one was biggest, if they were the same colors, okay? And we're gonna switch spots so that Mama can come over here. All right, so go ahead, there's your classmate, talk to her. Or him, I don't know what it is.
The spicy.
The Say it loud enough that they can hear you too.
The spicy and the radish. The spicy radish and the spicy other thing looks that the yellow inside it looks the same.
Ooh, so the spicy salad mix and the basic salad mix both have kind of a yellow colored seed in them. That's the same. Okay, what's one other thing you can notice? What did you say about the radish seeds?
That the big radish seeds are kind of like the brown ones in here.
Like they're the same color as the cabbage seeds, but which ones are bigger, the radish seeds or the cabbage?
The radish seeds.
Oh my gosh, she turned her classmate into a microphone. I tell you, folks, that's something, huh? Okay, so we're almost done, Morgan. You're so excited, right? All right.
No, I'm laughing because I turned it into a
microphone?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have all of our seeds in here. We have them labeled. The next job I want Morgan to do is she's going to spray all of the seeds. We want to make sure all the seeds are nice and wet. So like 10 to 15 sprays, okay? So we'll say Mama did about 5, so you do 5 more or so.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, and then I'm going to...
6, 7.
That's fine. And then I see back here that this part doesn't really look wet. Marks, how can you tell that the seeds are wet? What do you notice about them?
It's because they look kind of shiny.
Yeah, you can tell they're wet because they get a little bit shiny. Good, Morgan. Okay, so now, this is the crazy part, you guys.
Hard things that you put with water on, it looks shiny. It looks shiny.
Okay, enough with the microphone. Okay, Morgan, so here's the cool part. What things do plants need to grow?
My tummy's starting to hurt.
Oh, okay. Well, we know they need water, and usually they need sun, but we're going to force these guys to grow faster because they're going to be looking for the sun because we're going to cover them up with our other tray. And we're going to do that for the first 4 or 5 days. We're only going to take the tray off 1 time a day every 12 hours to spray our seeds. And the seeds are going to be like, where's the sun? Where's the sun? And it'll make them grow faster for us. Okay, Morgan? What do you think about that?
What?
Now,
look, I have a cast.
Okay, Morgan, I need you to stop being silly and focus with me, okay? We need it to stay nice and humid in here. That means there's moisture in the air. So, Morgan, I want you again, you're my spray bottle professional here, to spray the inside of this tray again, like 4 or 5 times, just to get the top of it a little wet for us, okay? Are you going to do that for me, or should I do it?
I'm going to do it.
Okay, then get focused and not be too silly, okay? Let's go ahead. Spray the inside of the tray. Perfect. Ooh, she did 6. She's going to stop now. Okay, so the inside of the tray is wet. This tray is beautiful. All the seeds are wet. And we're going to put this on top. Now, it says you want to keep your tray somewhere where it's not going to get too hot or too cold. So we'll actually bring ours in from the garage because I'm afraid it will get too cold in the garage some nights because you want it to be more around 65 degrees. We'll find a place where we can keep it flat in the house and away from Shabby because goodness knows what he'll do to it. Okay, but for right now, I'm just going to move it over here. Yes, my dear.
I know what he will do to it. He will build it off the ground. Yeah.
And so you can think about that at your house too if you're doing this with Miss Bailey's at home.
If you have a little baby sister or a little boy, hope they don't get into
Well,
that
just pick
kind
a good
of
safe
trouble.
spot. Same thing if you have a dog. Chucho might try and get into it. So we'll find a good safe spot at our house where it's not going to get too cold. I think it would get too cold in the garage.
Mom, can you get
Okay.
photo time?
Now, Morgan and I aren't going to open this tray back up for another 12 hours. So this same time tomorrow, we'll open it up and we're going to spray it about 10 times just to get all the seeds covered, make sure it's staying nice and moist. And we're going to keep checking, and in 4 or 5 days, we might see the tiny little seeds first beginning to grow. And we'll be checking in with you guys to kind of let you know how that goes. Sound good, Morgan? All right, thanks so much, guys, for doing some hydroponic microgreens with us. And we can't wait to check back in with you. We're going to go inside now and make some observations in our science notebook. Bye! I miss you all.